Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. This year's Dragon Ball Heroes info and animations are indeed out. JP and Global actually tweeted at the same time. The global sync is happening. It's underway. Both Twitter accounts are tweeting at the same time. That is the first step. As you can see, we have a lot to get through. So we're not going to waste any time. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. While you're there, don't forget to drop a like, and if you are new, consider hitting the subscribe button. But we are starting with Limit Breaker Vegito. So he will lead Dragon Ball Heroes and Giant 8 Power or Fused Fighters with Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense plus 170. Then give the additional 30% to crossover characters, which the majority of units are going to have, you know, heroes crossover in there for 200% leads. But 3 170 leads, being Heroes, Fuse Fighters, and Giant 8 Power, that's really nice. So if you want to do like kind of a mixture of a team with your crossover units and Giant 8 Power units, maybe get some other Vegetos on there, that's really nice. So in terms of a passive, he'll have an entrance animation. I really do doubt Global's going to have the voice lines. Maybe they could, because naturally, you know, Vegeto's an actual like canon character for us. But I still doubt it. So he has an entrance animation, and from the entrance animation, he will have a chance of performing a critical hit plus 30% and have damage reduction by 30% for 6 turns from the character's entry turn. Do you know why that 6 turns is really good? And I've been saying this for months. That is because the hardest fights in the game right now are getting to turn 6 the latest, or at a push. So he's going to have his entrance animation against the Fusion Zamasu for the entire fight. So he's going to have a 30% chance to crit and 30% damage reduction on one of the hardest enemies in the game for the entire of the fight. So that's really nice. So that means you don't even need dupes, but it's likely you can pull dupes because the heroes units are the only units there. Not only that, he'll start with Ki plus 3 and attack and defense plus 200%, then gain an additional 150 on super, then gain an additional attack and defense plus 100%, and have a 70% chance of launching an additional super attack when there is another Giant 8 Power or crossover category ally attacking in the same turn, or a Giant 8 Power or crossover category enemy. It's nice that you have both, like the either or, but also when you consider that you run these heroes units with other heroes units who are also under the crossover category, it's very easy to trigger that, which means Vegeto's going to have an additional, and for pretty much the whole fight, have a 30% chance to crit before you factor in dupes on 2 supers, which is really nice. Not only that, he'll have a chance to spawn a critical hit plus 40% and damage reduction by 30% when all allies attacking in the same turn are Giant 8 Power or crossover. Once again, do you know how easy it is to get that? Because you run heroes units with other heroes units. In terms of Giant 8 Power units, you know, we have some units from last year, whether they hold up, you know, they will have to be tested. There's also Broly, there's also EZA for the SSJ4 Broly, and also the SSJ4 Vegito, who hopefully is cracked, because then you can run these two together. It's so easy to get that. So that means against the entire fight of Zamasu, Limit Breaker Vegito is going to have a 70% chance to crit, with a 70% chance of an additional super, don't forget, and have a total of 60% damage reduction. He's really good. Maybe Dokkan's listening and they're giving the heroes units a little bit more of longevity. In terms of the link set, Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, Power Bestowed by God, Fierce Fighter, Saiyan Raw, Fierce Battle. Really nice link set as well. Vegito is looking great. Also has an active skill, which can be activated when all allies attacking in the same turn or crossover category characters starting from the 3rd turn. That's really nice. Again, you're going to be running them with other crossover units, but from the 3rd turn, that's really good. Or starting from the 6th turn, when you don't have crossover category character units. That's actually pretty good. So if you don't have a full rotation of crossover units, you'll pretty much get it at the end of a fight, you know, maybe Shadow Dragon event, you know, near the end, but against like Zamasu, pretty much the end. But from the 3rd turn, if you do have a full turn of crossover units, is really good. You'll greatly raise attack temporarily, cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and within the turn activated, all attacks become guaranteed crits. So that means Vegito should be supplying the damage, along with being really good with all that damage reduction. His categories are Dragon Ball Heroes, Giant Ape Power, Fuse Fighters, Crossover, Potara, Full Power, Time Travelers, Final Trump Card, Battle of Wits, Defenders of Justice, Time Limit, Accelerate Battle, and Power Beyond a Super Saiyan. And on Super Attack, Vegito will be raising his attack as well. That is by 30% for one turn. No defensive raise. Just had to go on a coughing fit. Your boy is still ill, but you know, we move. We've got hero stuff to cover. So next we have SSJ 3 Rose, or Crimson Mars Saiyan, Super Saiyan Rose 3 in brackets. Of course, will be a transforming unit. He will lead Dragon Ball Heroes and Super Saiyan 3 or Transformation Boost with the 170, then give the additional 30% to Crossover. Super Saiyan 3 getting some love, man. Super Saiyan 3 getting some love. Don't forget, a lot of the Heroes units are SSJ 3 units as well, so SSJ 3 are getting some love. His passive is Ki +3, attack and defense +180, then gains an additional attack and defense +150 on Super. No, when attacking. That's nice. 50% chance of guarding. Not a fan of a chance, but I guess it's better than nothing. Then gains an additional defense +100% and guards all attacks when there are another 3 or more crossover category allies on the team. Alright, so if you do run, you know, the standard Dragon Ball Heroes or crossover units, he'll have guaranteed guard. Really nice. Launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. So, unfortunately, the majority of the time you won't be getting that 70% chance of an additional. I mean, he is a Fizz unit, so he naturally has 5 built in. But that 70% chance, most of the time you're not going to have it, just because, of course, all of the enemies in the game are pretty much, actually, no, they are. All the tough enemies are extreme class units. So the only time you'll ever see that is like SBR, ESBR right now. Or of course, if there's a mission for like Legendary Goku event. But he does transform, so he can get better. His link sets are Brutal Beatdown, Super Saiyan, Godly Power, Prepared for Battle, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle. Categories are Dragon Ball Heroes, Super Saiyan 3, Transformation Boost, Crossover, Realm of Gods, Time Travelers, Inhuman Deeds, Corroded Body and Mind, Accelerate Battle, Power Beyond a Super Saiyan, Power of Wishes, and Full Power. And then on Super Attack, he will stack attack. See, while that is nice, the additional would have been good if it wasn't conditioned to a Goku, because then you could stack a bit quicker. It is attack, so it's not as important as defense. But it would have been nice if he had a built-in additional, even if it was only a 50% chance, and then like an extra additional linked to a Goku, with him being a stacking unit. Obviously, I think this would be a little bit more impactful if it was stacking defense. But it would have been nice. And he also does raise defense by 30% for one turn as well. And then he'll transform into SSJ 3 Rose, or Full Power SSJ 3 Rose, from the 5th turn. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Would have been better if it was turn 4. Because you're getting near the end of the fights with, you know, with the current content right now being so short. So it's not the best, it's not the worst. But then we have Crimson Mars Saiyan, Super Saiyan Rose Full Power. What a mouthful these names are, man. Looking all majestic. And then after he transforms, he recovers 40% HP, which is very nice at the start of turn. Actually, no. Recovers 40% HP once only, and from the next turn onward, recovers 15% at the start of turn. So he's gonna be recovering a ton of health every turn. 15%. He will start with Ki +4, attack and defense +200%, then gain an additional attack and defense +150 when attacking. Raises attack and defense by up to 150. The more HP, the greater the stat boost with that healing. Cool. Guaranteed guard now, no matter what. Launches an additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack. And if there's an enemy whose name includes Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, launch another additional attack. There's a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. This is really specific. The guaranteed guard is great. This part is really specific. Again, like, all the enemies in the game are extreme class. None of them have Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Apart from maybe, again, SBR, ESBR, Goku and Vegeta event. So, I mean, as ideal conditions, Rose's got guard. He's super attacking potentially 3 times in one turn. He stacks. But he's still pretty good, even not at his fully best. But it would be nice if he wasn't so restricted. In terms of his link set, nothing else changes. And then on Super, he is raising attack and defense by 30% for one turn and causing immense damage to the enemy. Then we have my boy Jeets. I love the way this artwork looks, man. Hopefully he's really good. Hopefully he is really good. So Jeets will lead crossover with the 130. On his passive will get key +3, attack and defense +180, have a 30% chance of forming a critical hit, then gain an additional attack and defense +50%, and have a chance of forming a critical hit +10% per Dragon Ball Heroes category ally, self-excluded, attacking in the same turn. Alright, so he should be able to do some damage with the amount of crit chance he's going to have. Also gains an additional attack and defense +40% of each super attack performed up to 120. Then gains an additional attack +120 and a chance upon a critical hit +50% when facing only one enemy at the start of turn. Then launches an additional super attack and a 50% chance of evading enemies' attack when facing 2 or more enemies. Unfortunately, he's alright. He's okay at best. That's literally about it. I mean, if only we swapped out some of them crit chances for like damage reduction or something, but yeah, he's okay at best. You know, it would have been nice if it was a different unit and my boy Jeets was sick, but it is what it is. His link set is Saiyan Warrior Race, Prodigy, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Saiyan Pride, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle. Categories are Crossover, Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, Siblings Bond, Worthy Rivals, Bond of Boss and Disciple, Dragon Ball Heroes, Miraculous Awakening, Gifted Warriors, Power Beyond a Super Saiyan, and Bond of Parent and Child. And then on Super Attack, he'll raise defense by 30% for one turn, disables enemy's guard, and causes supreme damage to the enemy. Then we have Limit Break SSJ for Broly, looking all menacing and shit. He will lead Time Travelers by 130. He will start with key +3, attack and defense +200%, then gain an additional attack and defense +100% when attacking. Launches an additional attack, there's a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. Launch an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. The second additional has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack when there's a fused fighter category enemy. Broly is also another one who's like okay. He's like, I think Jeets and Broly are probably mid. They're not the best. That fused fighter condition is really specific. I mean, Fusion Zamasu is a fused fighter technically, so I guess he has that in his favor. But them two don't really have a whole lot going for them. Like, Jeets has crit chance, Broly has his typical, like, additionals. And that's kind of about it. His link set is Brutal Beatdown, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan Prepare for Battle, Nightmare. Broly has Nightmare. Okay, Saiyan Raw, Fierce Battle. Categories are Time Travelers, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Dragon Ball Heroes, Giant 8 Power, Crossover, and Power Beyond a Super Saiyan. And then he will raise defense by 4 turns. Or raise defense for 3 turns for 4 turns and cause supreme damage to the enemy. That's quite nice. Again, he just doesn't have a whole lot going for him outside of the additionals. But still, 30% defense for 4 turns is quite nice. Next we have Dark Knight Fu. We're almost done. We are almost done. 7 units. He will lead Battle of Wits with 130. He will start the turn with attack and defense +150, then gain an additional attack and defense +150 when performing a super attack. Extreme class allies will get attack and defense +30%. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to strength key spheres when there are another 3 or more crossover category allies on the team. They gain an additional attack +100% with a strength key sphere obtained with A. So you pick up one singular strength key sphere and you'll get 100% attack just like that. Okay. Chance of evading enemies' attack +10% up to 50%, and extreme class allies key +1 up to 5, an additional attack and defense +4% up to 20 per strength or rainbow key sphere obtained. Which key sphere is collected more will be counted. The support's nice, the dodge is okay. I felt like if they'd done a little bit more with the orbs and how many orbs you get, Fu would have been a lot better. Leaving it at just 1 strength key sphere, attack +100%. Like, the support's good. Other than that, another unit that doesn't have too much going for him. Another unit that isn't great. I mean, Jeets and Broly are kind of they're mid. Fu's not great. Fu's not that great. His link sets Demonic Power, Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Big Bad Bosses, Godly Power, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle. Hold on. So Fu can have Big Bad Bosses, but Rose can't. Okay. Clearly Dokkan don't recognize real. Categories of Battle of Wits, Realm of Gods, Time Travelers, Dragon Ball Heroes, Crossover, and Accelerated Battle. On Super Attack, you'll be raising defense by 30% for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy, and seals Super Attack. Now we're on to the final 2 units, which are going to be the 2 new Dokkan Awakenings for Golden Metal Cooler and Janemba Modified. unit, so I pulled plenty of copies on last year. So, Golden Meta Caller will lead crossover with 150. He will start the turn with attack and defense plus 200%, then gain an additional attack and defense plus 80% if HP is 50% or more. When performing a super attack, launches an additional attack. There's a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. Has damage reduction by 20%, key plus 1 up to 5, and an additional attack plus 40% up to 200%, and an additional damage reduction of 8% up to 40%. Per crossover category ally on the team. So if you're on a full crossover category team with this man on it, or majority of the units on the team with this man on it are from crossover, he's actually looking pretty good. This is actually quite a nice Dokkan Awakening. Character super attack will be sealed if HP is 20% or less at the start of turn. That's actually really nice. Your health has to get really low. It's actually quite nice. His Dokkan Awakening is decent. It's solid. When he gets an easy A in like, what, 2, maybe 3 years, he's actually got the potential to be insane. Link set now is, well, they've added one link, but I can't remember what, I don't remember his link set, so I'm not sure what they've added. But his strongest kind in space, auto regeneration, fusion, deficit boost, shocking speed, cold judgment, shattering the limit. The one thing is, his link set's not great. His link set is not great. It's a bit of a mess in terms of a set. Categories are crossover, resurrected warriors, full power, transformation boost, wicked bloodline, artificial life forms, Dragon Ball heroes, and corroded body and mind. And to end out the details, he will raise his attack and defense by 50% for one turn, cause supreme damage to the enemy, which leads us on to the final unit, which is Janemba modified, the second unit this year getting his Dokkan Awakening. He will also lead crossover with the 150, and then he will launch an additional attack. There's a great chance of becoming a super attack when facing 2 or more enemies, and guards all attacks for 5 turns from the character's entry turn. That's basically an entrance animation without there being an entrance animation. Annoyingly, actually, I'm pretty sure the guards all attacks isn't tied to facing 2 or more enemies, which is nice. So the guard for 5 turns, really nice. He will start the turn with attack and defense plus 40% per crossover category ally on the team up to 200%, so he will benefit from running a full crossover team. He will then gain an additional attack plus 80% of each attack performed up to 240. Then gain an additional defense plus 60% of each attack received up to 180. These are literally only like 3 times, 3 attacks both ways as well. Key plus 2 and a 70% chance on a critical hit starting from the character's next attacking turn after the character performs or receives the 5th attack in battle, which will not take long at all. I don't know how I feel about his Dokkan Awakening. I think it's solid. I'm gonna say it's solid. Like, off of face value, on paper, I'm gonna say it's solid. Link set's brutal beatdown, metamorphosis, big bad bosses, shocking speed, nightmare, fear and face, shattering the limit. His link set's nice. Do we just not recognize Rose as a big bad boss? Is that what this is? I feel a little bit disrespected. His categories are crossover, Dragon Ball heroes, corroded body and mind, and accelerated battle. And on super attack, he is going to be causing supreme damage to the enemy and raising attack and defense by 30% and lowering enemies' attack and defense for 3 turns as well. So this year's heroes units are looking really nice. If I have to like kind of rank them right now, I would say Rose's looking really good. Vegito is looking amazing. Jeets, Broly, he's okay. And then Cooler looks good. Fu, not so much. And Janemba, I don't really know. Janemba looks okay. He looks solid. I think that's the best I can give right now without actually using them. But now we've got the animations. I'm really looking forward to these. Let me know your comments or your thoughts down in the comments of these and what you think of them. But let's take a look. I'm pretty sure she's the free-to-play unit this year, if I remember rightly. Okay, I mean, that shot's cold. I mean, I quite like the way the actual character looks. They look great for what they're working with. Broly looks really good. Jeets also looks really nice, bruh. Why did he have to be so mid? All right, that's cold. That's cold. That's cold. Oh, I like that. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, I see you, Dokkan. I see you. These are cooking. These are cooking, bruh. I see you, Dokkan. He doesn't have no voice lines. All right, that's fine. It's basically a more jazzed up version of the old SSJ4 Vegeta's super attack. I can't lie, a lot of them look cold. Roses, Vegetos, Broly, some of like Broly's shots look great. Jeet's got some good shots in there. I can't lie, Dokkan was cooking with the animations, bro. They had some good looking animations. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments, guys. Also, let me know if you're excited for Heroes this year. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day. And post.